This video is about how World of Tanks seems to have changed and how it's not as much fun as it used to be. All this intro footage is old footage, some of it's years old. We used to take any tank, any map, and we didn't flinch. We'd take on anything, no matter how big it was. We'd even protect artillery. Anyway, have a look at this. Seems like all the problems and all the fun seems to get sucked out of the game when these mercenary tanks turned up. But is that really the truth? Is that what sucked the fun out of it for a lot of people? I'm not sure. But these mercenary tanks are not what anyone were expecting. They're very immature. They're for kids out there. A lot of the people that play this are like me, old blokes, and my teammates and old bloke. We've been playing it 5 years, and this really went against anything that we wanted in this game. But it's been done, hasn't it? And the tanks look very silly. The crews are very childish. Sonic Valkyrie there, chewing gum and blowing a bubble and making a satanic hand sign. Very modern day. He looks sort of normal. It's a good tank, that, as well. And that's the thing. These Frankenstein tanks, turns out they're a lot more fun than normal ones, and there's no frustrating grinding with them. You know, what you get is what you get. So these are all premiums. I picked them all up for 18,000 gold, which I know that's a lot of money, but it's 2,000 gold each, and these are 6, 7 and 8s, and there's a lot of them, so it's about 2,000 each. And you get good silver bonuses. The tanks are good and you can have fun in them. That one's awful, that brick, but I might get used to it. But then again, I might not. I just don't like it. So in this video, I'm just gonna show you some little clips of some of these tanks in action, and I'm going to show you a full game of one of the tanks in action. Which I'll speak a bit more of. I'll just show you a little bit of this, and the turtle are exactly the same tank. There is some slight differences in specs, and that's got slightly different track characteristics, makes it a bit more manoeuvrable. So here's the turtle in a match. Not really sure what tier it is. It goes up to tier 10, this, so it's obviously a minimum of tier 8, and this tank can hold its own. Yeah, look at that. Totally destroyed that. 500 odd damage on that bulldog there. He wasn't expecting that. It's got 122mm howitzer. This isn't a review of them, by the way. It's just showing you the capabilities of it. And it's a good little fun tank. That is an excellent tank. And the gun on it's a very, very accurate. High penetration. It's something like 226 penetration standard rounds and 0.3 accuracy. And it's got a good fire rate, and it's so good I actually thought it was a heavy, and I'll show you a full game where I was playing it as a heavy, because I actually thought it was heavy. This Absolution, this is a good little tank. Tier 6 heavy, not many of them in the game, is there? I'll show you this. This is a tier 8 match. That's a Motherland, tier 8, medium. And that's tier 6 heavy. It's got excellent armour, spaced armour. A lot of stuff gets bounced off this. Just look at that. I mean, I don't kill him, but he doesn't survive, does he? And that's just a couple of examples. It's a good tank, and it's fun. It's actually fun, which is the thing about these mercenary tanks. They're just fun, and they might look a bit stupid, but then again, you know, look at some of these frying pan setback turret tanks there is in the Russian line. They look stupid as well, don't they? And they're not real. None of them are real. We've all bitched about these tanks. They can be silly. They've got silly crews. But end of the day, you can change them, can't you? If you really want to, you can change everything. You can re-camo the tanks, look quite good. I don't think I'll ever play that much. It's too much like the IS-6. You know, the IS-6 used to be a fantastic tank, but it's not anymore. There's too many much better tanks being put in the games, and that's one of the problems, isn't it? So much content's been added over years. All the stuff that used to be fantastic is now just average, at best average, and it's just not that good anymore, and we're just looking at it wrong. We don't seem to realise how much it's changed. I even made the mistake in this game. I mean, it's clear that is a, you know, when you look, it's got the medium tank icon, but I haven't even noticed that. It's my tank, and I've played it quite a few times this way, and not every time I've played it I've thought it was a heavy. Just because I've not paid attention, and I'm playing it like a heavy, and you just watch how this pans out. It's you know, side scraping, all that stuff, and it works, and it's fun, and that gun is very, very reliable and accurate. I think it's something like 226 penetration. In fact, I'm such a geek. I've got it all written down in me World of Tanks book and me War Thunder book. So I stopped when Mercenaries turned up. I stopped playing World of Tanks, and I went to War Thunder even, and that game is pretty much, you know, it's an abomination, I think, really. They don't have the silly tanks in or anything like that, but they do have very similar tanks to this, you know, made up ones. They don't have they're not made up like these mercenary ones are made up though. But then again, if you're gonna have made up tanks and allow them in your game, why are we drawing a line at these mercenary tanks? Why have we put a line in the sand and said we don't like this? Even though just about every tank in the game isn't a real tank, is it? Or some aspect of it is not real. You know, these ways, see, it's a blueprint, it's this, it's that, and then you've got these comic tanks, haven't you? Like the Crafts Panther, and I think the Citadel, and quite a few others. So why do we draw a line for these mercenary tanks, which happen to actually be good tanks? They just look stupid because we're kind of grown up, but we're not grown up enough that we don't like playing games. Yeah, 223 penetration with standard rounds, 240 damage, and 261 with premium rounds, so it can pretty much handle anything, this tank, can't it? And the accuracy is 0.3. The aiming time's good as well. It's difficult to see because this is a replay how good the aiming time actually is, but it also has very good bonuses. You know, all these mercenary tanks have good bonuses, like 140%, 150%. That's silver bonuses. this has got 150% and 110% for the XP. And don't forget as well, a lot of ops have come on lately, haven't they? And they're very XP reliant. So if you've got a load of tanks with good bonuses, you know, a load of premium tanks, you can just get through with them ops in no time. Absolutely no time. I've spent most of this month on blooming double times because of that that operation that they've got going, where you know, once you've done it, you get double XP for the rest of the month. Me and my mate have ground out a blooming an ISM and a 705 on the Russian line. Look at this, he can't shoot down on me. Great big Japanese heavy. He can't get me. I'm too low for him. I knew I'd got him here. He's having a go at him as well. That's him gone, innit? Got gun damage, track damage, and I've got a third of my tank health left. And they're down to 3 tanks. And this isn't a one-off. There's another match that I've got on Kasserine where the tank does very well on there against all kinds of tanks in open, and it takes some hits as well. It's just a good tank and it's fun, and look at the speed of it as well. Bearing in mind I'm thinking it's heavy, so I'm thinking, wow, this is fast for a heavy. I didn't find out till literally like 3 or 4 days ago that it was a medium, and that's because I was in a game with one, and I'm thinking, well, I can't see that beach party anyway, you know, because it was an enemy one. All I could see were the enemy symbols, and they were all mediums. I'm thinking, where's the flipping heavy? I saw a beach party or a Trinity, because beach party and Trinity it's same. I mean, look at the length of that barrel. I mean, you know, barrel envy or what? There's a lot of things Wargamer have done right, haven't they? Unfortunately, the tier matching suffered since the mercenaries have turned up. I'm not going to bore you with the tier matching. I've got pictures of it. I was going to put them in video, but it's just not worth it. Everyone knows what the tier matching's like. It's just got really bizarre. But they've made a rod for their own back, haven't they? Wargaming. With the preferential matchmaking on some of the tanks. So it must be a nightmare to get the actual... you know, the actual tier matching done. I mean, if you've got a tank that's a 7, it only plays up to 8, you can imagine the problems that's going to give you. There's a lot of games it can't go in, isn't there? And it could be player numbers are suffering because of everyone sulking about mercenaries, or they're just bored of the game. There seems to be a lot of tier 8s in the match at the moment. I mean, look at that. Look at the damage and the money. I mean, they didn't take any prisoners there, did it? I'm not a particularly good player either. Overall, I suppose I'm not bad, but you know what World of Tanks is like. It massages all the stats, doesn't it, all the time, and interferes with every single shot that you take, one way or another, with its so-called random number generator. You know, the random number generator that you can be at point-blank range, and somehow your round falls out the barrel and misses the tank that's literally next to you and doesn't do any damage. But, you know, we play World of Tanks and we expect that kind of thing to happen. This is another game on Kasserine, and I get persecuted by the artillery in this one. Me? Persecuted? That chappie shot the Decorator. How dare he? What a cad and bounder. In fact, there's quite a few caddish chaps in this that actually shoot me. They have the barefaced cheek to shoot me. Yes. I think it might be a tier 8 match, I can't remember. It's a little bit dumbed down now, isn't it? Didn't used to tell you were targeted It just used to say it's 6 cents, but now it clearly tells you that your target had done it, and I think that detracts a little bit from the game. Really, you should be able to decide yourself. You know, it's not to make it too. I'm speeding it up, you know, because there's a lot of driving about on this one. Just want to show you the shooting, really, and it gives me more chance to just talk about it. You know, we've all got this. Or most of us don't like the mercenary tanks, do we? You know, the old stages, us that have been playing it for years and years. And I think it's more of a mental attitude now, really, I really do. The teir, like I said, the teir matching has gone weird, but that could be because not many people are playing. There seems to be like a glut of tier 8s, so if you're in a tier 8, you end up on a tier 7, you can sometimes end up with some awful teir matching. But you know, still sort of enjoy it, but get frustrated. I sort of came to a crescendo over the past week. Me and my teammate, or my platoon mate, want to tear this Tiger 2 to pieces. And I mean, you know, good luck to the guy. He does what he should, and he targets the most dangerous threat rather than going what he thinks. You know, usually if a light or a medium turns up and there's two heavies slugging it out, the guy immediately turns on the light, doesn't he, or the medium, and just starts farming XP off him. But this guy does the right thing, and in my opinion the right thing, and he's trying to kill the most dangerous threat to him, which is the heavy. He probably hasn't realised how dangerous this tank is that I'm in, because this gun is absolutely lethal. That got his attention, but he still carries on doing what he should, and he's just trying to kill the other heavy. He don't stand a chance though. He just doesn't know it yet. Every shot's counting, and every shot's chipping him away. Yeah, he gets him, but it's too late for him. He's never going to reload in time. And I go for his bottom plate here, and that's the end of him. But you know, that happens, doesn't it? See, it's quite close, this. And people tend to pick on I've noticed people do tend to pick on these mercenary tanks a bit, but they get quite a surprise sometimes, especially with that little turtle and the tank. And like I said, they do look stupid, but you know, there's a hell of a lot of tanks in this game, aren't they? If you know what I mean. There's just, I don't know if we've all got a bit snobby and above ourselves, have we? Because there's a tendency, it's like the tier 10 mentality in it. I've worked for this tank, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to hide it so nobody can shoot it. Because there's no invincible tanks in this game. Everyone's vulnerable, aren't they? You don't see many of these, do you? He's got a T-34, I think it's a 3, black. It's a very, very expensive tank. I thought about getting that, trading in, but it's just like the King Dragon, except really expensive. I got the King Dragon, by the way. It does look daft, but it's a good tank. And that's him gone. See, this tank is very, very effective, isn't it? Look how little health I'm running on. And I don't know if you noticed, the artillery was trying to get me again prior to that little engagement. You see these bounders actually shooting the Dirkinator. It's not on, chaps, not cricket. And the other big sort of downer I have on this game is these maps. They've made them so you have to get so close to each other. It takes a lot of strategy out of it. You know, you've got to get up in people's faces to shoot them. You know, because there's always a curve somewhere. It might be a curve that goes uphill, or it might be a curve that goes round a corner. But it's always tunneling you in it and funneling you to. Someone starts telling me, I'm thinking of telling me where artillery or something like that is, and I'm going, yeah. Off goes the Dirkinator. And speeding up here in the replay. And anyway, it wasn't anywhere where them guys were saying. Anyway, I was talking about the maps and the map design. The map design just seems to, it's dumbed it down. It's like the Sixth Sense, you know, telling you you're targeted. It makes the game a bit too easy, and I don't know why. But then, you know, on the other hand, you get people coming in game, and you've got people like me that have been playing it 5 years, and I've got loads of tier 3 premiums, and sometimes it's just embarrassing. It's a proper massacre. And I've got some tier 2 ones as well, you know, so you can be going against people that have never played it before, and you can clearly see that. There's been times when I've been, you know, I've been in like a tier 5 and someone's come up behind me Churchill in one of these little flipping tier 3 things that it's only got like a machine gun, and I've just left him. He was blasting the hell out of my front armour and stuff like that and getting in my face. You could tell it was some kid, and I just didn't shoot him. I mean, someone else did. Obviously, you know what people are like. I just didn't shoot him. I had mercy, which is unusual for the T.A.N.K because I am without mercy, as everybody knows. Yeah, there's nothing I won't do to win. Yeah, I'd run across the map, and basically I wasn't really sure what to do. I should have gone and really protected the cap, because I knew the two mediums or whatever's left were like in that groove in the middle, you know, the sort of trench that runs down the middle of this map. Another reason to hate this map, you know, you can be on this map and you're always on the wrong level. Comes someone right in front of you and you can't shoot them. But I'd like to have fun, you see. I don't like all this peekaboo nonsense normally. I will do it, you know, there is times to do it, but it just generally gets on my nerves, and I think it's a waste of time. And see these people that think they're professional World of Tanks players, but what they don't realise is it's all random number generated. But it isn't really that random, is it? You know, if it were true random numbers, then there's no such thing as true random numbers, because there's so many numbers. You've got to narrow your parameters down, haven't you? Otherwise, the shots would be coming out of the back of the turret, wouldn't they, rather than going out of the barrel. Anyway, I come across the artillery, and I still don't get to kill him, even though he persecuted me with the hill match. Cad. But he gets what's coming to him. The guy in the T-34 nails him. But I like to play with my teammate. I like to play with myself. That sounds bad. I like to play by myself, should I say. And, you know, it's one of them games, isn't it? Depends, you know, sometimes you want to play tier 3s and whiz about, and other times you don't. I like playing lots of different tank types. Anyway, that was just another good match in this stupidly named tank, which happens to be a good tank, another than 29 grand. It really don't get any better, does it? And it's just another, you know, everyone says mercenary tanks, and we've all got this snobby attitude about them. What? How dare you come above the T.A.N.K, you bully-robbed scallion! I only came second. Oof. I like the platoons sometimes. We've got the, in fact, I'll just stick it on the end of this, it's just a bit of fun. I'll just show you me and my regular teammate. We've been playing since basically this game began 5 years ago, 2014. And back on the old 360, of course. Anyway, we've got these, what are called, they call them Ram Panzer, don't they, these? It's Panzer 5.4 or 4.5, whatever it is. And there we are on Pacific Island, and we're in platoon. Both in the same tank. He's got that little AMX there, just tore one into him. So that's one kill. This guy's pretty healthy, isn't he? And I'm pretty sure he's confident that, you know, because I'm half dead. But the Goatinator, who's my teammate, he's hammering him. And I get another shot into him. Now we do the old crossover. Watch this for style. Tag teamed him. He's gone. And the Goatinator's getting stuck in. And oh yeah, ram the one that's least. And another kill. We get brothers in arms on this. And the Goatinator finishes him off. I mean, that's not bad. I've hardly got any health left, have I? But I mean, I'm sure that that team must have been wondering what hit them then. But it can be great fun, can't it, this? And it can also be fantastically upsetting. I was having a gnashing of teeth and wailing and sackcloth and ashes and all that stuff earlier this week. But I've decided it's just a matter of attitude. And I think it's that simple. You know, the Frankenstein tanks are here to stay. They won't be going away. And that's all there is to it. Because people have paid money for them, there'll be lots of legal issues, won't there? But I started this video with a question or a statement. I don't really know which it was. You know, has this game changed really? And the answer is yeah, it has changed. Has changed drastically from when it first started. Apart from all else, it's on a different system now. But we have these tanks that are made up, and we've always had tanks that are made up. And so what's really changed? I don't think it's the game, is it? It's our expectations. I mean, some of it obviously has been dumbed down a little bit, but I think they're trying to widen their appeal, and it could always be made more mature, couldn't it? These tanks cannot be taken out now, and that's the end of that. But like I said, you can change your own crews, you can change your names, but these tanks are good tanks. They're a lot better than most of the tanks in this game, a hell of a lot better, and I've really enjoyed playing them, and I'm glad that I spent 18,000 gold on them, because for me that's now being a bargain. I'm going to get a lot of gameplay out of these. Almost as much as my Churchill, the Russian Churchill that I've got. I've had a ridiculous amount of games in that. But that footage with the Panzers, that's been filmed recently, so I'm still having just as much fun with my teammate, aren't I? And so it's us that's changed an expectations, attitude, whichever it is. The only thing that I really miss is, and it's going to sound stupid, is the amount of games that I've been in that we've actually lost because we couldn't see that our cap were getting taken, and that's the thing I miss most, is the ability to know that your cap is getting taken off you. This is how it used to be, and you know, we all know it's not like this now. Anyway, I'm just going to stop talking and let you watch this. Thanks for watching.